Good evening, ontologists. In this video, we are going to discuss about vector notation, or also known as the IJK notation. Remember that I represents the x component, j the y component, and k the third dimension or the z component of a vector. So given the following vectors, actually this is the same vectors that I used in the video about component method. So I will be using the same vectors para hindi na kayo malito. Okay, so paano ba natin ita-translate itong bawat isang vector sa IJK notation? So, if we look at the visualization, itong graph sa Cartesian plane, makita natin na si vector A ay along x lang. Wala siyang y component. So, therefore, we can write vector A in terms of IJK notation as, since pakaliwa siya, negative 9i or I hat in that case. Okay, next, for vector B, how do we write vector B? Vector B is located northwest, meaning to say the angle is 45 degrees from the x, or it is found right at the middle of the two main directions, north and west. So therefore, we need to know the components first of B, or vector B. So Bx is equal to 15 cosine of 90 plus 45, that's 135. So kung ano maging sagot doon. And By is equal to 15 sine of 135 degrees. So calculating that in the value of those quantities, so we have cosine of 135 times 15 is equal to negative 10.60, or rounding off to whole number, we will use negative 11. I'm sorry. So it's negative 11. Ayaw na sumulat. And for the y component, syempre, it will have the same magnitude, kaya lang positive. So, positive 11. Negative 11 and positive 11. Therefore, we can write, palit lang ako ng marker. We can write vector B as negative 11i plus 11j or j hat. Next, for vector C, in the same manner, we need to know the components cx and cy. So we have 10 cosine of 30. Okay, since the angle comes from the positive x up to that one, and the y component is 10 sine of 30. So let's calculate. We have cosine 30 times 10. That's positive 8.66, or equal to positive 9. Okay, next one, we have sine of 30 times 10. So that's 5. Right? So 5. Therefore, we can write vector C as positive 9i plus 5j. And lastly, we have vector D is equal to, again, getting the component dx and dy is equal to 5 cosine of 250 and 5 sine of 250. So let's calculate cosine of 250 times 5. It's negative 1.71 or negative 2. It's negative 2. And the y component is sine of 250 times 5. It's negative 4.69 or negative 5. So this becomes, ay sumulat, negative 5. So we can write vector D in terms of vector notation as negative 2i plus minus 5j. So basically, these given vectors are now translated to IJK notation. And how do we know the resultant? So it's a lot easier. In terms of IJK notation, the resultant is negative 9. Sasama-samahin lang natin yung lahat ng i. Negative 9i minus 11i plus 9i minus 2i. So cancel yung 9i. Matitira ay negative 11i minus 2i. So we will have negative 13i hat. And then for j, we have 11 plus 5 minus 5. So cancel yung 5j, matitira ay 11j plus 11j hat. So this is the resultant vector in terms of the IJK notation. So we have negative 13i hat plus 11j hat. So kung matatandaan ninyo dun sa previous video, ito yung summation of x and summation of y. So ganun lang siya kasimple. And then kung kinakailangan mong kunin yung magnitude of the resultant, say for example, kailangan mong kunin yung magnitude of the resultant, you just apply Pythagorean. Kaya na ginawa natin dati. So we have negative 13 squared plus 11 squared. So that is 169 plus 121 square root. So it's the square root of 290 or approximately 17.02 and so on, or 17 kilometers. So we get the same answer. Using IJK notation, we get the same answer. And we can also calculate the angle using theta, 11 over 13. So theta, let me separate this. Theta is equal to shift tangent 11 over negative 13, absolute value. It will also give you the angle of So let's compute. Shift tangent of 11 over 13. 40 degrees. Rounding off the whole number, we will have 40 degrees. And what's the direction? The direction can be obtained from here. So negative x, positive y, this is yung I, ito yung j. So the resultant is in here. Ito yung resultant. Direction is galing sa west, of west, moving towards north. So north of west. Therefore, the final answer is also 17 kilometers, 40 degrees north of west. So basically, we have the same solution or same answer for this. Okay? So, iba lang yung method kasi gumamit tayo ng IJK notation. Okay? Kung papansin nyo, mas madali ng konti. Okay? So, that's all for today. I hope you learned something again. So, goodbye and thank you. Bye-bye. inverse tangent, inverse tangent,